Once again, Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to the United States Air Force Academy. Utah State at 500, 6-6. The Academy at 7-7 on the young season. Game 2 of the Mountain West Conference season, and here's the starting lineup for Utah State. Shane Rector can really penetrate. Kobe McEwen we talked about. Alex Dargenton's doing some really nice things. Young player. Jalen Moore's terrific, averaging 17 points and 5 rebounds a game. And Norbert Janicek is a 6'11 sophomore from Slovakia. Here's Air Force. They can really shoot it. CJ Seipels, Jacob Van, Zach Coker, all three of those guys can score. Frank Tui, undersized man in the post, and Hayden Graham. Head coach for Air Force is Dave Pilipovich. He's in his 5th year. Coach Pilipovich has done a very, very good job since taking over 5 years ago. And there's Tim Duryea. Tim spent better part of a quarter century as an assistant, 14 years in fact, with Stu Morrill at Utah State. When Stu Morrill shut it down and retired, he took over, and he has done a really nice job. They came on late last year, and this is a young man that can really coach, that has paid his dues. I'm really happy for him.
Just going to say, it's called paying your dues.
You know about that, Marty.
Yeah, absolutely. 15 years as an assistant at with the Aggies.
And you can see the Aggies have owned things, 14-3 in the series meeting. Air Force captures the opening tip, and they go into their offense, which has more patterns than any team you will see. And if you don't dig in for 35 seconds, and that's a nice driving layup by Zach Coker, you don't dig in for 35 seconds, you will get beat.
Yeah, you have to really break down defensively and move those feet, because they'll beat you on cuts and they'll beat you on drives.
And that pass is knocked away, so it stays with Utah State. What a drive by Zach Coker, who's known as a great shooter.
Yes, and we call that the strong side drive. Down gut alley. Coker lays it off the glass for the deuce.
And he will do that periodically. He's averaging 11 points a game. Coach Fletcher was telling you that Hayden Graham averages 11. They have 4 guys really averaging the same figure, right at that 11-point mark. Good balance for Air Force. And that pass knocked away. Seipels came away with the loose basketball. Open man, Jacob Van, and he can do that. 5-0 start for Air Force. 22nd triple on the year for the junior from Mansfield, Texas.
Well, Air Force got a layup on the first possession, and then a little tray from the corner the second possession. The guy that shoots 51% from the three-point line.
Air Force already shaking up their defense. They go to a zone, and that is an air ball from the kid McEwen. Here's Seipels pushing tempo. Frank Tui. They run a lot of sets, Marty, out of that high post, don't they?
Yeah, it's imperative that your center or the high post in the Princeton-style offense can handle the ball, can pass the ball, but also has got to be able to knock down threes to bring that defense out so you can run your back cuts, so you can penetrate.
Everybody has to have a perimeter game in the Air Force offense. 13 on the shot clock after the block. They get it out high to Seipels. This is Hayden Graham. He'll pull up from 16. Good looking shot, back of the iron. It's Coker with the offensive rebound. Graham, and that's a good sign, because at times, Coach, he hasn't been assertive. Just 6 for his last 21 over the last 3 games coming in.
Well, excellent penetration and a kiss off the glass. You're absolutely correct. Shooting a poor percentage from three-point line, only 27%. Where he's most effective is when he gets in the paint and makes the nice move to the basket.
One shot now to get for Utah State. Graham trailing the 3, and the rebound comes away to Utah State. Pushing it up the floor, Shane Rector. 7-0 start for Air Force. They go to Janicek down low, and that's an offensive foul, kind of through an elbow. So Janicek with the personal.
Good size. He does have a post-up game. Here you have the inside position, and he leads with the elbow. Easy call for the official, go the other way.
Yep, easy call. Well, Air Force up a touchdown. They went on quite a run on the football field yesterday. Fell behind 21-3. That'll be a backcourt violation. They were in the Arizona Bowl against South Alabama. They're down 21-3. They scored, what, 45 unanswered?
That is correct. And it should have been 28-3 because South Alabama fumbled the ball on the 1-yard line. Guy going in for the touchdown. But what a great comeback by the Falcons. 45 unanswered points.
Yeah, congratulations to Troy Calhoun and the Falcons. For the 7th time in Academy history, they win 10 or more in a football season. They finish strong.
You get a good look at Air Force's matchup zone. It's a 3-2. They'll bump the cutters.
Here's Moore. Good defense by Coker. And a block by Hayden Graham. Loose basketball. Seipels has it. Seipels down the lane, all the way to the lid. Well done. Timeout, Utah State. 9-0 blitz from Air Force to begin things this afternoon at the Academy.
Well, watch this great defensive play by Hayden Graham. It turns a defensive play into a transition basket on the other end. And CJ, the DJ, finishes it. He blurs to the hole, lays it in. What a great start by the Academy.
Great start. And Marty, you and I have both seen a ton of games at Clune Arena, and it's not nearly as raucous as it can be because the cadets aren't here. It's still the holidays. It's New Year's Eve, so it's a small gathering, to be honest. But they are always very formidable at home. Let's take a look at our Peterson keys to the game, brought to you by Peterson Toyota. Marty, what have you drawn up?
Well, for Utah State, it's Fear the Fro. We're talking about one of the premier players in the conference, Jalen Moore, terrific leading scorer, 17 points a game, 4.8 rebounds. He's got to come up big to get this road win. And then number 2, Shane Company. I'm not talking about the jewelry store. I'm talking about Shane Rector, who is a jewel in himself. He has to play strong. 12 points a game, 3 assists. He's the leader on the floor. He's got to conduct and run the show. For the Academy, visit a little town I like to call Treyville. They're 13th in the nation. They're shooting 41% from Trey, and they make 8 a game. They have to make 10 today to get the conference win. And number 2, CJ and the Lion. Now I know you're an author. This is not a children's book. It sounds like it, but this is CJ, who we saw straight to the basket. And of course, Trevor Lyons off the bench. It's a dual-hitted point guard situation, and they have to play well for Air Force to be successful.
I love it, Marty. You were up very late last night. Well done. CJ and the Lion. Okay, I will look for that on bookshelves near you. Yeah, New York Times bestseller. And that three-pointer goes over the top of the basket and out of bounds. So again, there's one look, and it was a clean look that time from Jalen Moore, but he's unable to knock it down. So they are 0 for 4 to begin things. They've turned it over twice, and they've had a shot blocked. Into Tui, guarded by Janicek. Tui, jump hook, count the basket. Frank Tui.
And you mentioned Tui early on, undersized post player, but he does have a back to the basket game. Look at the footwork, look at the spin move, and the nice touch off the glass. He's been effective for the Academy, averaging over 11 points a game.
That's 2 fouls on Janicek. Tui at the line, 75%. And he splashes that one through. It is a 12-0 beginning. Trevor Lyons is going to come in, and Jacob Van goes out.
And Coach Pete does like to play both point guards together, which at times has been very effective. You get more quickness, you get more ability to make plays and create shots for your teammates.
Sam Merrill's come in. Coker with the steal. 2-on-1. And good job by Utah State getting back defensively in the paint. Tui flips up a 3, and he's got it. 15-0 beginning. And Tim Duryea, it's one thing to see another team start quickly. Now you're talking about a huge deficit. It's a high noon start, and evidently they have not gotten the wake-up call.
No. Oh, they thought it was a 1 o'clock start. But they can't wait till 1 o'clock. They got to get it going and get some stops.
Well, maybe that'll get them going. A stick back on the offensive glass, and that is Quinn Taylor, who just checked in.
Yeah, last time out, Quinn Taylor gave the Aggies a good game against Boise State. Very effective around the basket. Nice foul.
Tui goes to that left hand. Frank Tui, we saw him against Colorado, and he struggled because Colorado's bigs are much longer than what Utah State has presented so far. So his low post game's working. Oh, here's Moore for three. He's got it.
We got the big redhead doing it down the other end for Air Force. He's playing Bill Walton today. Are you kidding me? What a job by Tui.
I'm telling you, he's not quite as tall as Bill, 6'7". 8 points for Tui. Seipels leans in, didn't get the roll, and it's pulled down by the freshman, McEwen. And that goes for Moore, another three.
And that is why he's a Player of the Year candidate in the Mountain West Conference. The Aggies needed hoops desperately, and he delivers 2 big threes.
He's coming off his career high at 24 against Boise State. Graham fades and hits. And again, that's not a shot he was taking the last couple of ball games. They need him to be assertive.
Yes. Don't settle for the long-range jumper. Hayden Graham, take the ball to the rack, get in those seams, and there he had a nice baby jump shot.
And again, Moore left alone, and again, same spot on the baseline. 3 straight triples, it's 19-11. Here come the Aggies.
Well, in that 3-2 matchup zone, your 2 post guys are the ones that have to get out and cover the corner. Tui was a little late getting out there.
Coker gets it ripped. Here's Rector. Actually, let me correct that. That was McEwen with the steal, and he was fouled, and we go to our first timeout. 13-15 to go, first half, 19-11. Well, Air Force got off to a 15-0 start, and then Jalen Moore took over. He hit 3 straight threes in the space of 1:04. So now Utah State can catch their breath and get going with Marty Fletcher. I'm Drew Goodman. Air Force can score the basketball. That has not been the issue so far for them.
You know, they average over 78 points a game. They're giving up, however, 72. They've got to tighten up their defense. And here's the guy, Jalen Moore, coming off his career high last time out. I call it a Bruno Mars 24-karat magic. He got 24 last time out. I know you're a Bruno Mars fan.
Love Bruno Mars. Jalen Moore, I was surprised by this, and that will count. It's McEwen laying it off the glass, a 3-point opportunity. Jalen Moore, who's played so much basketball in Logan for the last 4 years, that was his career high. You would have thought at some point in time he would have had a 28 or 30 or 32-point ball game.
Well, he's very, very unselfish. He probably could look for his points more, but he's a team player. He does everything well, but you're absolutely right. I think he's going to step up his game, and we saw it here once again early afternoon.
A little token backcourt pressure. 12-2 run by Utah State to get back within 5. First 3 points of the ball game for Kobe McEwen. See how Air Force responds. Seven on the shot clock. Van penetrates, a little runner, no good. And it's pulled away underneath by Barnaba. Sam Merrill, number 3, has been on the floor for a couple of minutes for Utah State. He can score, he's open now.
Can shoot as well.
Yep, that's what he can really do. So Sam Merrill knocks down a triple, his 11th of the year, and Utah State within 2. What a run by the Aggies. Hayden Graham, he's in deep, and he had it blocked by McEwen. Ahead of the field, this will be an easy one for Julian Perry, and we're all tied up. How do you like that? Dave Pilipovich now has to call a timeout. 15-zip start for Air Force, and the Aggies have caught him at 19. Julian Perry with the lay-in. One of the most beautiful places to go and visit, the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, home of the world-famous Broadmoor Hotel as well, the Garden of the Gods. Spectacular scenery in the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. Doug Marino's favorite spot, our crack statistician and researcher. Welcome back inside with Marty Fletcher. I'm Drew Goodman. Glad you're along with us on Root Sports this afternoon. Final day of 2016, 1919. After Air Force began with a 15-0 beginning. And it's now a 15-4 run for Utah State. They've extended the zone defense out. Open man is Ryan Manning, and the rebound away to Jalen Moore. So now Utah State can take the lead. Here's McEwen, trail 3. And he was looking for a foul on the elbow, didn't get it.
So early on, we're talking about a game of runs. 19 all. It's a team that can get some stops defensively that will ultimately turn this thing completely in their favor.
That'll count. That's a strong little runner by the freshman Lavelle Scotty. He's a 6'6", strong kid from Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah, beam me up, Scotty, because this guy is coming on for the academy. Only a freshman, strong, athletic. That was an excellent move to the basket.
So an opportunity for Lavelle Scotty to complete the three-point play. Dave Pilipovich really likes this young man. He likes his entire freshman class. He's got 6. How about Coach Pilipovich? The other day in Laramie, Marty, he played 15 guys, 12 scored.
Right, they brought the whole squadron up there.
They did.
One of the wings.
Three-point lead for Air Force. 11-11 to go in the first half. Merrill from the top of the key, and a very good defensive sequence, but then a turnover and you give away an easy one. And that was a nice play by Shane Rector. Kind of turned like he was going back on defense and then stuck around and got the steal. Shane Rector with the easy 2.
Yeah, excellent rebound by Norman, but he pitched it. Outlet pass, but it went to the wrong team. And Rector made a great move.
Here's Lyons. There's Dane Norman. Tui's the only starter in there. Manning, a turnaround. It's a good-looking shot from Ryan Manning, who's battled so many injuries in his career at the Air Force. He played just 5 games last year.
And shooting 51% from the floor, 46% from Treyville. Doing a terrific job, Manning.
Perry is fouled. Penetrated against that zone. Frank Harvey with the call.
Yeah, even though Air Force, if you're Air Force, you're playing that matchup zone. When somebody puts the ball on the floor, you cannot let them, what we call, slice you. And that's exactly what Perry did. He sliced those seams, got in the teeth of the defense, and was able to draw the foul.
What'd you teach zone offense-wise? What were your staple points when you were teaching how to work against a 2-3 or a 3-2 in this case?
Well, it's a little different when you're talking about a matchup zone because you got to, there's so many man-to-man principles in the matchup zone. You've got to run some of your man-to-man offense. You can screen versus the zone, but you have to penetrate. You got to make 2 people play you, and you need ball movement, but you also need people movement. And penetration is the enemy of all defenses. You have to penetrate the zone.
Yep. That's what Perry did there. Here's Lyons. Van penetrates, took contact. Norman with the follow. Well done.
Well done. And once again, penetration caused the opportunity for Norman to get the offensive rebound.
Good ball movement. Here's Jalen Moore back on the floor. And which way? They're going to call an offensive foul on Jalen Moore. One of the things I really appreciate about Jalen Moore, you don't know what the score is. You don't know if he's playing wonderfully well, which he typically is,
Yes.
or having an off night, he is just steady in terms of his emotions.
It's called even keel.
Yep.
And that's what he has. Don't get too high, don't get too low. That's when you can perform at your best.
Yeah, I really like watching him play. Terrific kids. 26-23, Air Force by 3. Lions off a ball screen. And that was so weird. He kind of shot that a little bit, Coach, as he was descending.
There was a little bit of a hitch in that jump.
Yeah, here's Moore in transition. Jalen lays it up and in. He's in double figures with 11, the senior from North Logan, Utah. Norman can shoot the 3, just like that.
He was only shooting 80% from Treyville. He was 4 for 5 coming in, and he rings the bell again from 3 land.
Dane Norman, a 6'9" sophomore. He's the perfect big, if you will, for Dave Pilipovich, because they have to be able to shoot that jumper up top. Long rebound at the Cypress.
Yeah, and he's got length. He's got wingspan. He also is a very good rebounder. And he's getting more minutes as the season goes along.
The interesting thing about Norman, number 1, has got the basketball right now. Not recruited by anybody. It's a feathery little pass. Here's Coker out of the corner. He literally, I talked to him before the game, nobody recruited him. Division II schools, Division III, nobody recruited him but Air Force. They're glad they did.
Yes, absolutely.
Pull-up jumper, good box out by Tui, puts a fork in it. Here comes the Academy, 29-25. Inside 7:50 to go in the first half. And away from the ball, we have a foul. This will be on Utah State. Hey, catch the game, munch on a little sandwich. Nothing better. 29-25, Air Force leading Utah State. College basketball fans, and we are assuming you are one since you're tuned in. Well, check out Root Sports. We wrap up a full day of college basketball later with the 7th-ranked Bulldogs of Gonzaga taking on the Pacific Tigers. Tip-off is this evening at 6, again right here on Root Sports. The Zags have it going. They got a Colorado product on their team. Their point guard, Josh Perkins, good player.
Well, and of course they were here in Denver last March, playing in the NCAAB tournament and did very well.
So Air Force with the basketball, Marty. They have a 4-point lead. They go to Dane Norman, turns around from the free throw line. I think he was shocked that he was that wide open.
Yeah, he did. Was a little off balance on that shot, and therefore went hard right.
That's a strong move to the basket by Shane Rector, and he'll get rewarded with free throws. Frank Tui buys the foul. That's his second.
Yeah.
The foul when we were going to break off the ball was on Quinn Taylor of Utah State.
Yeah, Tui made a nice drive, and Taylor reached in and held him. Now Tui on the other end picks up his second foul, and he'll be substituted for.
I think Shane Rector, coach at the line, is an underrated player coming back in as the freshman Lavelle Scotty for Air Force. Rector knocks down both free throws, 4th in the conference in assists. He can score the basketball. He's tough as could be. Kid from the Bronx.
If Utah State is going to do well in the conference, he's going to have a big year. He's off to a great start.
Shot clock down to 5. They got to get one up, and Cycles let it go, and Norman gets the offensive rebound, and then he kicks it away, and here's an open floor for McEwen, rising to tie up the game at 29.
Kobe! Woo!
Yeah, he looked like Kobe, didn't he? The other Kobe.
Well, it was great defense. Rector making things happen on both ends of the court.
Jalen Moore got the long pass for the assist. Entry pass, there's Scotty. Good looking move, couldn't finish. Here's Utah State, a chance to take their first lead. Rector lost the handle on the left hand. Scotty, and he knocks down a 17-footer. Lavelle Scotty.
Good decision by Scotty. Instead of chucking up the long-range shot, he took his time, got inside, and shot and knocks down the 20-footer.
What you will see from Air Force typically is a high percentage of assisted baskets. Coker had the primary pass there for the assist. This is Janasek in a crowd, and he flips it up and in. First bucket for Janasek, the 6'11 sophomore. 31-31, 5:20 to go first half.
I'm sure Coach P is saying that's too easy. You got to move the guy off the block. Even though you're in a zone, you're man-to-man on that block player.
Coker, and he had it knocked away from behind. 3 on the shot clock for Air Force. And watch this, yes. Norman had it tapped away, and Jalen Moore looked down the floor, and here's McEwen up top.
Up and away from McEwen. Look, in a hard slam. But Rector made the tap away. Moore makes the pass. Kobe makes the finish.
Air ball from Van. He had to get one off. There was just 3 seconds when they inbounded it. So again, an opportunity for Utah State after the tough start when they were down 15-0, a chance to take the lead. Out of the corner, Merrill, and a 3-pointer from Merrill, and the Aggies lead at 34-31.
Yeah.
What a turnaround.
That was good defense by Air Force. They contested the 3. Merrill just knocked it down.
Seipels trying to answer, and he does. Nothing but the cords. C.J. Seipels.
And they call that back at you.
C.J. Seipels with a 3-pointer.
2-3 matchup for Air Force.
And for Air Force, you have a little more quickness on that back line.
And Rector's 3 off the mark. Coker, a very good rebounder for a 6'3 guard. Hayden Graham back out there. Here's Coker, one of the top 3-point shooters in the history of the Air Force. He came in hitting better than 50% from 3-point range. He's missed his first couple today. Contact offensive foul. The outside official, the veteran Tom O'Neill, says that's a charge. Timeout on the floor. 34-34.
In Denver. Coming up on half, we've got a good basketball game. If you're a fan of the Falcons, stick around. We're going to learn a little bit more about their senior captain, number 35, Hayden Graham. So that's coming up as we get you back to Clune Arena. It's a good ball game to Drew and Marty, guys.
All right, Mark, we'll look forward to that. You're absolutely right. A very good ball game, though from Utah State's perspective, it did not start that way as you look at Hayden Graham. Hayden Graham and the Academy got off to a 15-0 start. Since then, Utah State, after missing their first 5 looks, Marty, they are 12 of 19 from the floor. Well,
it gets back to Air Force's weakness early in the season has been getting stops. They're allowing 45% shooting as far as their opponent. That's got to improve if you're going to be successful in this conference.
Van, 3-ball, and he rattles one home. Jacob Van, who scored 37 in a game last year in the Mountain West Conference Tournament against UNLV. So he can get warm.
Yeah, and Van said, hey, coach, over there on the sideline, forget about the defense. We're going to put up the points. And they can, 78 points a game.
37-34. Air Force kind of staying in that zone right now. And another offensive foul. Guess who drew it? Jacob Van on the other end of the floor.
Yeah, we saw Coker one possession, missed the shot, come down and draw a charge. We saw Van knock down the three and then come down and move those feet and draw the charge. So the biggest play in basketball defensively, drawing a charge.
It's also the 17th foul on Utah State, so 1-1. Next next foul that you see on Utah State. 4 team fouls on Air Force.
Well, you know, as a fan, you love the great shot blocks, but drawing a charge, you're putting maybe the 3rd foul on the best player on your opponent. You get to the one-on-one bonus.
Good job by Seipels reaching around. And a great look inside. What a pass to Lavelle Scotty. What a gorgeous feed.
That was a hook around, throw it with your left hand, bounce pass. And Scotty finished very strong at the rim.
Been a game of runs, Smarty. 8-0 run now for Air Force. They're up 5. And that one's knocked away. It's Seipels' back-to-back defensive sequences. Hayden Graham. And his runner no good. He gets the offensive rebound. Outside they go. I was surprised Graham didn't put that back up.
Yeah, and I was surprised CJ didn't pull the trigger because he's on a hot lunch.
Here's Coker, and he is fouled. Free throws coming for Zach Coker. You want to talk about a holiday gift, man. This had Christmas and Hanukkah written all over it, man. That is a gorgeous feed.
Now, last time I checked, CJ's not left-handed. That was a great hook around, left hand, bounce, pocket pass right on the money.
Yeah, that was pretty.
That was a beautiful transition basket with a great pass. And the next possession, another great transition move where Graham wasn't able to finish but got the offensive rebound and kicked it out.
Scotty goes out. He's giving them a nice lift on that offensive end. 7 points for the freshman from Fort Worth.
And he also has given them a lift on the defensive end because he's been able to use his speed and quickness getting out to the corner. You remember, Jalen Moore was wide open on those 3 threes early on.
A minute and a half to play in the first half. 40-34, Air Force by 6. Rector to Moore. And good job jumping Moore by Air Force. Helping out was Lyons. Really active zone. Merrill alone in that corner. And loose basketball to Norman. Lyons got knocked down in transition away from the basketball. Air Force with a minute to go and a 6-point lead. Jump ball is called. Possession arrow to Utah State. Dave Pilipovich not liking that call.
Let's take another look, Drew. Here you have a great drive. And you see Hayden Graham kind of brings the ball down. He kind of blocked his own shot on that. It was a correct call. It was a jump ball.
Got a 22-second differential between the 2 clocks. And good bit of defense again by Air Force. Dane Norman just stayed tall, and now Air Force can hold on for the final look, up by 6. They're so disciplined, aren't they?
Yes, they are, because I thought both guys were going to the basket and shooting it.
You're like, wait, I thought
what
we
are
were
you doing?
holding shot,
You're
right?
holding it for one.
Norman will try to find a guard. Here's Van. Gets a good look from 3. Norman taps at it. That's going to end the first half. Very interesting first half at Clune Arena. Air Force with a 40-34 halftime lead. They were up 15-0. Utah State came all the way back, took a lead 34-31. Utah State didn't score the final 4:42 of the first half. Ooh.
And I don't think that would be the last lead change the way this game is going.
It was fun and entertaining. We go to our Root Sports studios in Denver. Here's Mark Stout. Mark?
All right, and you said it, Drew. Basketball, a game of runs, and that is what we have seen at Clune Arena, even though Utah State has won the last 4 in this series. They've been dominant in this series, but tough to win at the Air Force Academy. When we come back on the College Basketball Halftime Report, we're going to learn a little bit more about Hayden Graham, the Air Force senior. Stay with us.